Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is video finds you. It's your boy Jay here, and today I want to discuss the possibility of the next Monster Hunter title bringing new weapons to the franchise. Now, it's been about 10 years since Monster Hunter has added a new weapon to the ranks of the weapons that we all know and love. Alright, Monster Hunter 4 originally dropped in September 14th of 2013, right? So 10 years later, I'm thinking the possibility of us getting a new weapon is pretty strong, right? So from 1 to 2, we got a lot of new weapons. We got Longsword, Gun Lance, Hunting Horn, and Bow were introduced in Monster Hunter 2 or Monster Hunter DOS, right? And then in Tri, we got the Switch Axe, right? The Mighty Morphin Switch Axe. And then, like I said, in 2013, we got the Insect Glaive and the Charge Blade added to the ranks of Monster Hunter weapons, right? So, yeah, now here in Gen 5, which is all but wrapped up with the bonus update of Sunbreak already being out, we didn't get a single new weapon. But what we did get was basically a franchise refresh, if you will, right? Because Gen 5 is completely different to the old games, right? Like New World and Old World, like there's a clear line in the sand. It's almost like the franchise got rebooted in a way, right? So yeah, that's what they worked on for Gen 5, and to great success, right? Monster Hunter has never been more successful than it has been right now here in this moment. So yeah, we're looking ahead to Monster Hunter 6, and the possibility of us getting new weapons is kind of high, I think, right? However, there's two possible directions that I think the Capcom team could take here, and both of which would be very exciting, and I want to talk about that here today. So definitely stick around, subscribe if you like Monster Hunter content and discussion videos, because I'll be doing these a lot more now that Sunbreak is wrapping up, and we're gonna look to the future and maybe speculate about what's to come, and reflect on what Sunbreak is and was and where the franchise is at now. So yeah, strap in, hit the like button for me, don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive in. Alright, so in the intro to this video, I did mention how I think that there are two possible routes we could go when it comes to getting new weapons, right? And the first one is it's kind of a cop-out, and not really. Like I am saying new weapons, but they're kind of not new. And the first of the two routes would be to bring all of the weapons that are not in mainline yet, right? So I'm mainly talking about the Tonfas, the Magnet Spike, and the Accel-Axe. That's right, even the Accel-Axe, right? We bring them all here to mainline, right? And in the marketing, you could have it be kind of something similar to what we had with Super Smash Brothers, right? So you can imagine, the new game is revealed. Maybe we get like a reveal trailer at first, right? Just basic title card and a feline in there and a hunter in there, and then Rathalos shows up, so we know it's Monster Hunter, right? Cool, just to kind of wet our whistle, like, yo, it's coming, cool, right? And then later on, we get another trailer that showcases maybe a little bit of each of these type of gameplays, right? Maybe you got a little bit of Tonfa action in there. Maybe you got a little bit of Magnet Spike action in there. Maybe you got a little bit of Accel-Axe show up. They don't say it. They don't like, oh, new weapon. They don't make it a big deal. They just show the weapons, right? And just imagine they have a similar moment as Super Smash Bros. Had, where it's like, yo, check this out. Everyone is here. But instead of everyone, it's every weapon, right? But, choosing a weapon class is kind of like selecting a character in a fighting game, you know what I mean? Every weapon has different movesets, different properties, blah, 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 blah. Well, you can have that same kind of hype where nobody knows what to expect. Maybe Capcom announces, like, yo, we're going to talk about Monster Hunter 6 on this date. Everybody shows up to the trailer, and you see the usual suspects. You see a great sword, you see a long sword, you might see a hammer show up, do the damn thing, double blades going crazy, and then fade to black, and then you see Tonfas. You see a dude with Tonfas just going nuts. Yeah, ooh, ah, right? And then you see some Magnet Spike action maybe come through. You're like, yo, what's up? Just going crazy. And then you see an Accel-Axe pop up doing the thing, and then at the end, every weapon is here. Could you imagine the type of hype and community response that would drive? I mean, it sounds like a marketing dream. The game market itself, we're all going to be talking about, oh my god, did you see when the magnet spike flew across the map and got to the monster? Like, that's what we'd be talking about. We'd be like, oh, the Tonfas are here, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be great. I think that would be a great thing. And you know, one of the reasons why I think Monster Hunter needs new weapons is blunt weapons. We don't have like a speedy blunt weapon, right? Like the hammer is kind of slow and you got to charge and it's kind of methodical. The hunting horn, the new hunting horn, it's a bit faster. Like I see what they're trying to do, but the hunting horn is also a bit quirky and slow and weird, and not many people gravitate to it naturally because of just how out of left field it is, right? Tonfas though, or nunchucks, like, you know, I mean, just pull up to the monster and give it the hands and score KOs. Sounds incredible, right? So yeah, how about that for a possibility? That's one of the two directions they could go, because technically we would get 3 new weapon types there, but like they're not new, they've already existed, right? So I guess that would mean it takes less work, because as a concept, all of these weapons already exist. But from like a programming and dev standpoint, it would still be difficult, right? Because you gotta program all the interactions with the monsters and all of that. But still, you don't have to come up with it from scratch, because a lot of these weapons already exist, and there are designs in Frontier that exist. Speaking of Frontier, I have never played Frontier, so this gameplay that you're looking at is from the homie, man. I want to give him a shout out. I just, you know, shouted it out on Twitter, like, yo, I need some footage to make this video, and my man Thai Food, bro, he came through and he really helped me out. So his video will be in the description down below, and his Twitter handle will be right here on the screen. Go give him a follow, go show him some love, and yeah, I'd like to thank you so much for helping me make this video, man. So yeah, that's it for the first direction I think Capcom could go when it comes to implementing new weapons into Monster Hunter. Okay, so I did mention there are 2 directions I think Capcom could go. We've already talked about one of them in an every weapon is here style type drop, but the other thing is they could actually come up with new concepts and make brand new weapons. Like, yeah, duh, right? And instead of, you know, bringing back the Frontier favorites, they could just leave those where they're at, you know, in Frontier, and create actual brand new weapons for us to try. And I have a couple ideas when it comes to this, and actually I want you guys to head down to the comments and drop your ideas down below for weapon ideas. I just want to read them. I want to see what the community is thinking about when it comes to new weapons. But let me tell you guys about my ideas. My first idea is pretty simple, pretty bare bones, not very super unique, but like I said, stamina weapons I think need a quick weapon, right? We need like a speedy type weapon, because hammer and hunting horn, they're slower and they're weird, right? So a whip type weapon, right? Like a whip weapon. Yeah, and you know, you can, you know, maneuver it pretty fast, and you know, you'd have decent mobility, you'd be able to run around quickly, and as you smack the monster in the head, you'd be able to score blunt damage and get KO damage, and go from there, right? And maybe it can have this special property where it could cut a tail if you do it just right? Kind of like how a whip will have like a slashing effect if you do so correctly in real life. I don't know, maybe something like that, right? But that's pretty like straightforward and bare bones, and not very like quirky or weird or Monster Hunter, right? However, my next idea, this idea right here, I think this idea is gonna require a bit more explanation, because it's weird, but it's very Monster Hunter. So we all know about the gun hammer, right? The hammer that looks like the revolver barrel, right, where you load your shots and you shoot it. And I thought about this weapon, and what if we make it smaller, right? So like a one-handed mace type weapon, right? So as you swing it around, it does blunt damage, but in true Monster Hunter fashion, it is a transforming weapon, right? So that means you'll be able to use rapid morph on this weapon, right? Hypothetically. So if you hit the transform button or the R button, a barrel comes out and goes in front of the part where the revolver is, and now you can shoot it, right? And now you have almost like a pistol grip shotgun type weapon, and it uses bowgun ammo, right? So now you have this hybrid between Blade Master and Gunner as a weapon, right? And as you switch between the two, your defenses switch up too. So if you're in Gunner mode, you got the Gunner penalty as far as your armor is concerned, right? You're gonna take more damage from physical hits because you should be further away from the monster, blah 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 blah, right? But if you're in Blade Master mode, you're gonna be up closer to the monster. You're gonna be trying to score those headshots because it's a blunt weapon too. Like, you know, I'm quite biased. I'm a hammer main. You know what I'm saying? I want more blunt weapons, but it's a blunt weapon. So you're in the face of the monster, and then you're gonna have, you know, the Blade Master armor. Since we don't have the separation between Blade Master and Gunner armor anymore, let's take advantage of that, right? And so many armors have skills that pertain to both, like Blade Master and Gunner, right? Or you ever pulled a talisman and the skills are like, I don't know, ballistics and handicraft, and you're like, well, okay, I can't fully use this charm because, you know, it's either one or the other, because I'm either using a bowgun and I'm gonna take advantage of ballistics, or I'm using a Blade Master weapon and I'm gonna take advantage of handicraft. Well, with this weapon, you could use rapid morph and get the bonus from morph attacks, because yes, it would have morph attacks. Like maybe if you morph into a gun, you get a shotgun blast that pushes you back to the sweet spot range for you to shoot the shells, right? And then maybe if you morph out a gun into the mace mode, you get like a dash forward or something as you morph out, and then you can strike the monster, you know what I mean? So yeah, this one, it's a little out there. It's a little out there. But I think it will be sick. I think it will be so cool and so fun, and the skill ceiling for this weapon would be astronomically high, right? Because like you got to be able to use you know, your bowgun ammo correctly, and then you got to be able to position yourself correctly, and you got to know when to morph, when you shouldn't morph, when you should be shooting, when you should be swinging. I think it would be a weapon to rival the doctorate degree that you need to use Charge Blade efficiently. So those are the two main ways I think I'd like to see Capcom approach adding a new weapon to the franchise, new weapon or new weapons to the franchise, or reviving weapons from previous titles to move forward into the franchise with the rest of them. But there is a third option that I didn't mention or talk about at all, and that option is they do nothing at all, and we just stay chilling with our 14 weapon types, which isn't a horrible outcome, you know. I really do like the variety we already currently have in Monster Hunter. I'm not saying that Monster Hunter needs new weapons, otherwise I'm gonna drop the series. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I think it could be cool to have new weapon types, and I kind of have a tradition when it comes to new Monster Hunter games and new weapon types. If the game has a new weapon type, I'm gonna main one of those weapons to beat the story, right? So I'm gonna go through the entirety of the story with a brand new weapon. So if it does come to Monster Hunter 6, I'm gonna pick of the, you know, 2, maybe 3 new weapon type options and run through the game with it. So yeah, like I said earlier though, what do you guys think about the possibility of a new weapon type coming to Monster Hunter? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you like my ideas? Do you have ideas of your own when it comes to brand new weapon types? Leave that all in the comment section down below. I'll respond to each and every comment that hits this video. And as always, people, happy hunting. Peace.